Out here doing some door dashing, some food delivery. We got wildfire smoke in the air, folks. I think that's from California, out west somewhere anyways. This is Arkansas. Got a little fun video for you here called How to Treat a Casino Like Your ATM. You may be asking, why is he at the Golden Corral? It's because you got to have a goal in mind, and I'd like to come here and have myself a free buffet dinner. And that's my goal. It's not a very big goal. It's fun. This is for fun and entertainment. Casino I'm going to is about 25 miles or so into the smoke screen. Cherokee Casino, West Siloam Springs, Oklahoma. There's a cat right there. Look at it. Kitty, kitty. Huh? You a mama kitty? Did you know cats with 3 colors are almost always females? I bet that's a nice little cat paradise. What do you think? That cat's just chilling. All these lights out here for summertime. All the bugs that come. That cat's got it going on. There's probably usually water in here to drink too. It's dry right now. You're a smart kitty cat. Alright. That's fascinating. That's a little cat paradise. The more I looked at that, I kept talking and blabbering. Okay, let's get to the show. So most people that walk in here are gonna walk out losers, and that's not how we do it. I'm walking in here, I'm taking some money home. There's always someone in the comments that will say, "You're gambling." I know you gamble. I don't gamble. Gambling is gambling, and if you don't understand the difference, I can't explain it to you, and then you're right, you are gambling. They don't like cameras in here, so I'll keep it on for a while. Let's see what happens. How long are you gonna keep this open?
Until probably around 1:30.
1:30?
Yeah.
Oh, that late? Hey, thanks, man.
Yeah.
Okay, folks, the casinos, most of them here in the United States, will be American roulette, where there's just a single zero, or where there's a zero and a double zero. European roulette has just 1 0. So if you can play roulette, European roulette, that's what you'd want to do. But I can't have that. I can't find that around here. I would not play this at all online for money. You will lose. Do not play online, would be my advice. So we'll select American. Mathematically, this system calls for a $200 bankroll. If you were playing for $1, like so, this is the 2 spaces we'll be playing. This is a super simple system, and that's really why I really like it. Where I saw this, where I learned this from, this is not my invention, unfortunately. I wish it was. I do have a system that I've always used, and I've basically just played even my whole life with it. It's just for fun, right? But then I came across this, and it's just wonderful, and it works so well. It's amazing. I'll show you how I did here in a second when I leave this casino. So if you were playing with $10 chips, you would want a $2,000 bankroll. If you're playing with $5 chips, you'd want a $1,000 bankroll. Now in this video, you see I'm only using $500, and I'm playing 5 chips. You don't actually need that, but mathematically, you're supposed to have a 200 times bankroll. If you're playing for ones, it's 200. If you're playing with 5s, it's 1,000. If you're playing with 10s, it's 2,000. And I don't have that big of a bankroll. I don't want to risk that much. So at this casino, I'll be playing 5s with a $500 bankroll. But because it usually doesn't go that far. But anyways, enough talking. Let's set our bankroll at 2,000 just for video purposes, because they don't have 5s and they won't let me set it any. But this is it right here mathematically. I don't play for this much money, but this is it. A $2,000 bankroll, $10 chip. Basically, I'll just ignore the value of the chips. 1 chip here on the second 12, and 1 chip here on this column here at 2 to 1. But this both of these sectors pay 2 to 1, and we'll keep track of it up here. And let's just say I'll play for say 15 minutes. It's 9:42. Say 9:45. I'll play till 10. And we'll see how I do. Now this goes super fast in a casino. If there's a lot of people playing, it'll be a real slow game. So there's different ways to do this. You don't want to play too long. This is get ahead and leave, because if you play too long, eventually mathematics will catch up with you and you will lose. I'll talk about that at the end of the video. That's the most important part, right? Is don't get addicted. You have to have the ability to leave. You have to leave. If you want to say when I get up $50, I'm leaving, and you got to have discipline. Just leave, right? Um, Here we go. Keep track of it up here, up on the upper right corner. See there? That's my bankroll, 2,000. Spin. How the system works as we go. It's a black 33. So now I add a chip. See that? Now it's 20. This is a super simple system. Okay, so we're down to 1980. How this system works was, okay, we started with 2,000. So 2,000 is the high, and you want to keep track of that amount in your mind. 2,000. And when we get back to 2,000, we'll reset back to a single chip, right? We got two chips out there now. Spin. That's a black 2. That's a winner. See, we're back to 2,000. See, we're back to our high. So now we reset back to one chip. See how it's working? There. Spin. Red 3. That's the loser. So we add a chip. See how it's working? Our high is still at 2,000. When we get back to 2,000 or above, we'll reset. That's a red 27. That's the loser. So we add a chip. Spin. That's a red 1. That's the loser. So we add a chip. Our high is still at 2,000. We do not reset until we get back to 2,000 or above. Now, if I get back to like 1980 or 1990, just go ahead and reset. If you get close to the high, I like to reset. Okay, that's a black 17. That's a bonus hit. See how the numbers 14, 17, 20, and 23, these four here, that wins both stacks. Both we were at four chips, right? 40 and 40. We were at four chips, and we just hit a jackpot number. 14, 17, 20, 23 are four jackpot numbers. Mathematically, that should happen 1 out of every 10 spins. Now it's just mathematically. On this American roulette, there's 38 numbers, right? So four jackpot numbers would be just a touch over 10% of the time. Those should hit. Okay, look at this, folks, up in the upper right. We're at 2,040. That's our new high, 2,040. We now reset back to a single chip, spin. I think I started at 9:44, so we'll stop. We'll stop at 9:59. Just play for 15 minutes. This would simulate probably more than like 2 hours in a casino. Okay, black 15. That's a winner. So now our new high is 2,050, right? So we stay at one chip, right? Essentially, we've reset, but we were already on one chip, so we just stay at one chip. And at this point, you've seen the entire system. This is all there is to it. Just keep going. That's a black 6. That's a loser. So keep track of where we were at. 2,050 is our new high. Add a chip. That's a black 35. That's the winner. We're at 2,050, so a reset. And at this point, you should be able to see how effective and simple the system is. And I wouldn't make a video about it unless I really liked it and know how effective it can be. Okay, that's a win. Black 8. That's a win. We're at new highs 2,060, so we stay. Essentially reset. We just stay at one chip. That's a black 10. That's a loser, so we add a chip. You got to keep when you're in the casino, when you're in the brick and mortar casino, it's hard. You'll have a hard time keeping track of some of this stuff, right? Because they take all the chips and all the information off the board, so you got to keep track of it in your head. Our high is 2,060. We add a chip spin. So this 15 minutes playing here on this roulette simulator online might be equivalent to like 3 or 4 hours in a casino. I haven't really thought about it yet. But as you can see, okay, that's a black 11. That's a hit. Well, yeah, we're at 2,060. Sometimes, you lose track. As long as you're close to the high, you can reset. So we're going to reset back to 1. Spin. You can see this number here. That's a black 26. That's a hit. So you can see this number here. We're on round 13. So that's our 13th spin, right? And I'm talking and even playing slow online. We've only played for 4 minutes. So 13 spins in a casino, that could be that could be an hour, right? If there's if there's 7 or 8 people playing and they got to clear all the chips and pay everybody, right? You could have just witnessed an hour in a casino, so keep that in mind. I'm up $70 now. If I was playing with the $5 chips, I'd be up $35. I could walk out the door right now with 30. Say this was an hour casino, I could walk out the door with $35. Buy, right? Total is 2,070. Spin. Loss at a spin. That's the red 18. That's the hit. Reset. Hit our 2,070 total. Spin. Black 33. That's a loss. Add a chip. Spin. This can be addictive. So if you got a problem with that kind of stuff, then just don't do this. Just I'm making this video just for fun and entertainment. Don't forget about that. And, it's Black 17. That's a jackpot. See how that worked? We were getting close back down to 2,000. We're about even, and there's a jackpot. So 18 spins. That's 2 jackpot numbers. See, that's actually perfect. That's almost perfect statistically, mathematically. 2 jackpots and 18 spins. It's just a touch over 10%. It doesn't have to happen, right? Like I said, there could be a string of numbers come that lose, 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 lose. That will happen eventually. That's why you got to leave, and that's why I'm just going to show you 15 minutes here, which simulate, you know, probably like 5 or 10 minutes on the simulator would be like 2 hours at the casino. Okay, so reset our new total. Keep in mind is 2,130. Reset 1 chip. You can see how well this works. So you'll have the sensation of I can do this for a living. I'm going to get rich. This is incredible, right? That those thoughts will happen, but eventually this will fail, and you will lose if you sit here and play too long. I'll explain that at the end. Well, I'll say it right now too. Spin. Uh, that was a loss. We'll spin. Red 7's a loss. Add a chip. Eventually you will lose. Black 4. It's a loss. Add a chip. What was our total? 2,130. You can see we're back down to about even if we were to lose this spin. But there's a winner. 2,050. So we're at 4 chips. 2,130 is our reset high. We did not hit that. We're at 2,050. Although that was a winner, that was a hit. We still add a chip. So now we're at 5 chips. Spin. So now that's a loser. So we're getting in. This is a little different situation in this system. This is the first time that's happened in this video. We're now at 6 chips. Spin. You can see we keep increasing the bet by 1 chip. That's a black 35. That's a hit. But we're not back to the total. Yeah, see how that's working? So we add a chip. Spin. There's a red 32. That's a hit. See, they're not jackpot numbers, but see those 2 hits. Now we're like 2,080. Now a casino might have a maximum bet set like at In this case, at $100 on the outside. So we'd only have three more chips to go. It's not a bad idea to go ahead and reset right now, right? Keep that in mind. The casinos have in place maximum and minimum bets to stop a system from this working, right? Because what would happen if you had a big bankroll and they just let you just keep increasing? This mathematically you would win for eternity. That's this kind of system, right? But there's limits, and you'll run into the limits. So we're close to the high total. So I'm going to go ahead and be conservative and reset back to one chip. See, so now the system does not call to play like this, but the system is in place for no maximum bet at the casino. So if you're going to have to maybe alter that a little, but 2080. This is the way I just like to do it. Is our new high. It's our new total spin, right? So that's a hit. See, if I would have increased it to 80 there, which is what the system calls me to do, and I did not do it, I just would have won another 80 from where we were at 2080. We would be at 2160. We would be at 2160, right? And that would have been a new all time high. You see how that would have worked? But I was conservative. But you see how the system came out and won right there. You can see it, right? Boom. So, but I've already done it, right? I've kind of got like a double reset, and 2090 is our new high. But you can see, right? We would be at 2160 if I played the system to the T. But you got to be leery of getting trapped by the casino's max bet, and don't get greedy, right? Okay, that's a loss. Red three's a loss. Add a chip. Spin. Where are we at here? 950. We got 5 more minutes left to play here in this simulator. That's a red 23. That's a jackpot, folks. So if I'd have just stuck to the system, we'd be doing great. I mean, we're still doing great. That's a jackpot. Our new high is 2,150. So I know a lot of people's ears and eyes are pricked. Your ears are pricked up and your eyes are open watching this. It will eventually fail. If I sit here and do this for an hour, I'll lose every bit of this. It might take 2 or 3 hours. I will lose every bit of it. Those numbers, that bad string of numbers will come. What do you got to do? You have to leave, right? It takes discipline, and you have to leave. You have to stick to the plan, right? You cannot sit there. You have to leave. You cannot play too long. Red seven loser. Add a chip. That's a red 21. That's a hit. Or 21, 2020. That's not quite the high. So we'll go ahead and add a chip. If you want to reset right there, you could. You can. Like I was saying, if you get close to your high reset number, go ahead and reset if you want. It's not a bad idea. That way, if string of bad numbers comes, well, okay, so that's a loser, black four. So we'll add a chip. We're now at 5 chips. Well, that's a double zero. That's our first green. That's our first green. Add a chip to 6. You can see this is our 34th spin. So in a crowded casino, you'd have to play like 4 or 5 hours probably. But if you're there by yourself, it goes kind of like what you're watching here. It's pretty quick, especially a system like this where the dealer doesn't have to do anything but pick up 2 chips. And that's a black 13. That's a hit. You can now see we're at 2,000. We're exactly even for the day, for the session. Add a chip. It's a red 25. That's the loser. We're now underwater. Let's stick to the system and see what happens. Add a chip. Spin. That's a red 12. That's the loser. Uh-oh. See, could be a bad string of numbers coming. Like I was saying earlier, we were up 100 and some bucks. That would, it would have been like an hour or two. That's when you walk out. You would have left. I'm just showing you. Go ahead. I'll go ahead and show you how this system could fail. There's a black 10. That's the loser. Right now, if I was playing at the casino I'm at right now, This would be the table max. I'm not allowed to bet more money than this, so that would present a big problem. We'll spin. We'll see what happens. It's red 36. That's a loss. So at the casino I'm at, I wouldn't be able to increase, so I'd have to stay right here. at 10 chips. We'll see what happens. This is kind of good. This is happening because I want to show you what happens. Eventually, you will lose everything. Well, there's a jackpot, right? There's a jackpot right there, and we're at 1720, 1,720. So we're not back to the reset. We'll just stick to the system. We're not allowed to increase our bet. See what happens. We'll spin. That's a black 35. That's a hit. Spin again. We're not allowed to increase in the brick and mortar casino. There's a red 18. That's a hit. That's a black 15. That's a hit. We're back at 2020. And we got 1 minute left to play. See if we can get back up above water. There's a jackpot. There's a jackpot. So if I was playing like that was perfect. This video worked out good because we're right at the max. I said 15 minutes basically there right now. There it is, right? If I was sticking to the system, we'd have been at like, what was it, 14, 15 chips. And I just hit a jackpot number, red 14. So it would have been even a lot more valuable than that was right there. Look at our new number now, 2,420. This video worked out good. Sometimes you have problems showing every aspect of a system. And this just showed literally every aspect of this system. 43 spins. We're up $420. It's $9.59. So in your mind, if you go to casino, I'm going to play for exactly 2 hours, and that's my limit. Whether I'm up or down, I leave, right? And we're there, right? I just hit my time limit. I can't play anymore. I'm ahead. I leave. If you sit there and play, you will lose. And I just showed you, we went way down. Did you see that dip? Let's go look. Let's graph this. I'm going to graph this out for you. I really like the simulator site. Do not play for real money on the internet, and I'm 99.9% sure it's rigged for you to lose. Okay, so here this is our stats for what I just did. See, we started and we kind of went down after the first 5 spins. 6th spin, we got in the green. We played in the green the whole way. We never really got up a whole lot. All right, and this is where I was talking. You could have left wherever your time was. You had all this opportunity in the green to walk out the casino and go to the Golden Corral and get a free meal, right? And here it was at the very last few minutes we played. Right, boom, look at that. See, this is where the system fails. But you can see if the casino allowed you to keep raising your bets, you literally would just win forever. You'd basically take all their money, right? As long as you had a big enough bankroll to keep doing it. Because you can see mathematically how that was working. The casinos, like I said, will have. I don't know where you're at. They'll do it however they want to do it. The minimum and maximums. You just have to find out. But there it is. Boom. Look at it. See how well that works. I just showed every aspect of the system. The video couldn't have worked out better. And but I could have lost right there at the end, right here. You saw how that was working, right? I was down, it says 680. It's down 700. And we would have kept adding a chip in theory. So by the time this hit, we would have been down like, well, I guess, yeah, that's about right, I guess. But down, that was a 7. From right here, we were up 120 to down 680. That's 800. That was an $800 loss. See that? That's why you don't sit there and play. Right? In the casino, you'd have left right through here, right? Don't play too long because that will happen. Got out of it, boom. And I think you've seen everything I wanted to show you. Worked like a charm, my friends. I'm walking out $100 up. I only played like an hour and 15 minutes. I was there by myself and one other guy for almost the entire time. I was by myself. So I played a lot more spins than I was planning on. But I tipped probably $80, $70. And then they have an ante, 50 cents a spin. Probably another 20. I probably won $200. $180. I'm walking out with 100. Actually, I'm walking out with 95 because I couldn't help tipping the guy. And I tipped pretty heavy. I probably won 200. I'm walking out with 100. Just leave it at that. I'm trying to see if we can see that kitty cat again. But yeah, it worked like a charm. And the thing is this, you know, I hesitate making this video because people will do it and they'll go out the first time and they'll win a bunch and it'll work, and then you'll start thinking, oh, I can do this for a living, I'm a genius. Right? But there will come a string of numbers that will absolutely sink you and take your whole everything you got. So you have to leave, right? You just have to leave. That's what most people can't do. You gotta leave. So leave, right? Gambling is people who get off on making the bet, right? Winning or losing is irrelevant. They get that rush of chemicals in their brain off making the bet. That's what happens. So that's gambling, right? Gambling's gambling. And for those who don't understand, you know, I just explained that. Yeah, it has to hurt, right? If you lose, you have to hurt. And the feeling of walking out of a place like this with their money, right? This is the first time I tried making this video, and I think it's the first time I've been here in a while. But that system works so well. Don't get ahead of yourself, right? You can't do this for a living. This is a hit and go, right? You want a free dinner, but you know, I mean, I'm risking $500 is what I sat down with, give or take, and you know, I could have just lost. It's highly unlikely, but you know, just to do it right off the bat, that's why you got to leave. And with this system, you'll almost always be up at some point. If I sat in there for 12 hours, I eventually would probably lose. There'd be a string of like, you know, 15, 20 numbers, you know, 12 numbers, 12, 15 numbers in a row that just lose. That would eventually happen. So therefore, you have to leave. And this is fun and entertainment. That's the only thing it can ever be, because in the end, the house does still have the advantage. When you leave, their advantage is gone, right? And with this system, I could probably do this almost every single time. So, but you can't get stupid, right? You have to just nickel and dime it, right? I'm leaving with $100, you know, bye. I sure hope you enjoyed this video. And as always, thanks for watching. Oh, on a side note, I'm door dashing, so I'm gonna do some door dashing on the way home. So that's an interesting side note. All right, later.